Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are yet to subscribe, do well to subscribe and as well do well to leave a comment. Today, without wasting much of our time, we are looking at the topic how to do the work you are avoiding. Today's video aims to achieve two major things. Number one, why do people avoid doing the work that should be done? And number two, what is the solution? So let's get started with it. What are the things that prevent people from getting the work done? My first point to why people avoid doing the work is procrastination. And I know that you see this comment, right? And I know that this sounds like a cliche, but procrastination is one of the reasons why people avoid doing the work. But if we say procrastination just like that, we are not really doing justice to it. But first, let's get started. What is procrastination? Procrastination is when you push what needs to be done to a different time, and this can reflect itself in different ways. Number one, it can reflect itself when people do unessential things just to avoid the essential ones. A practical example to that is somebody wants to start a business and he or she knows that the first thing I need to do is to validate their idea by probably creating a wait list. But instead of doing that, they decide that okay, let me first go and build a website, and then when I build the website, I would go and get the business registered and all of those petty things, those unessential things, just to avoid the essential ones. And that is one of the ways procrastination expresses itself, that people get involved doing unessential things just to avoid doing the essential ones. And the reason why they do that is just to create a system I call false progress. It's just like trying to tell themselves that they are making progress by doing the unessential ones while neglecting the essential ones. Another way that procrastination expresses itself is when somebody extends the time it takes to complete a particular task. And what that literally means is, if you say that you want to get it done in 7 days, there's a likely chance you're going to get it done in 7 days. But if you say you're going to get it done in one day, you're going to look for every possible means to get it done in one day. And one of the ways procrastination expresses itself is that people find a way to extend the time relating to certain tasks just because they want to avoid doing the tasks. That is one of the ways that procrastination expresses itself. Another way procrastination expresses itself is when people do more of talking than doing. And again, this is another expression of procrastination, because procrastination expresses itself in people's life in different ways. And another one is, just like I said, another one is when people do more of talking than doing. They would rather share the idea with friends and family. They would rather talk about doing it, but will never do it. And that is also one of the ways that procrastination expresses itself in people. So number one, just like we said, is procrastination. It's one of the reasons why people avoid doing the work that needs to be done. Let's look at number two. The second reason why people avoid doing the work that needs to be done is when their focus is drained or they are experiencing mental fatigue. And again, just like procrastination, this is expressed in people in different ways. What are the cues that you will see that will help you know that okay, this person is experiencing a drained focus or a mental fatigue? Number one is doing multiple projects and their attention is split amongst these multiple projects. For example, somebody wants to do a particular project and they take up another project and then another project and then another project, and they have to like split their time in between all of these projects. So that way it prevents them to actually get the work done because they are experiencing some level of mental fatigue. Another point or another cue that will help you know that somebody is experiencing or will experience mental fatigue that will stop them from doing what needs to be done is doom scrolling while they are expected to work. And something about doom scrolling is that once you doom scroll when you are expected to work, there is a kind of guilt that it builds up in your mind that causes you mental fatigue, prevents you from doing what needs to be done. But there are times whereby people, or it's not even there are times whereby a lot of times people use the time they are expected to do certain tasks to doom scroll. And what that thing does is that it creates some certain kind of guilt in your heart that causes you mental fatigue. You just get overwhelmed, you just get overly stressed out because you are supposed to be doing something, you are feeling guilty for not doing it, and then you are spending much time on social media doom scrolling. And when you doom scroll on social media, it's just like taking in different emotions at the same time, and it causes you mental fatigue. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people do not do what they need to do. Another expression is disorganized structure. So a lot of people have a very disorganized structure and it prevents them from doing what needs to be done. And Something about disorganized structure is that it drains your focus and as well causes you mental fatigue. A practical example of that is this. Let's assume that somebody has a very disorganized room. It drains focus and prevents such person from taking some certain kind of action. So let's look at the third point. The third reason is that people have a knowledge problem. Is that people have a knowledge problem or a doing problem? And here's what I mean. People are not experiencing mental fatigue or they are not experiencing procrastination. What they are experiencing majorly is ignorance. They really do not know what to do. For example, somebody wants to set up an email sequence or an email automation, but because they don't know it, there is no way they want to move on with that project. And a lot of people have that doing problem as well, because you don't know it, you are expected to go and learn, but the process of learning feels like an overwhelming one for them. So the response to that is to avoid doing the work. To reiterate on the point I've made so far, to the reasons why people avoid doing the work is: number one, procrastination. And we said procrastination expresses itself in different ways. Number two is mental fatigue or drained focus. And number three is either ignorance or a doing problem. Now, what is the solution to this problem? We have listed three major problems and their expressions, but what is the solution to this problem? Let's look at it quickly. Solution number one is what I call self-awareness. You have to ask yourself a certain question, and the question is this: why am I avoiding this work? And it will bring you back to the problem that I just mentioned. Is it because of procrastination? Is it that you don't know? Is it that you're experiencing some mental fatigue due to some unstable structures around you? Once you have an idea of why you are experiencing this particular problem, you would be able to solve it. So the first solution is self-awareness. Understand why. And once you understand why, it is easier for you to correct it. Let me give you a practical example. There was a young guy that I had a conversation with some time ago, and he was having issues with seeing a project to the end. And he decided that, okay, my problem is that I don't know how to force myself to do something. I think that is the reason why I avoid doing the work. And he was like, okay, can you help me set up a system that keeps me accountable? And I was able to do that for him, and it helped him to achieve his goal. That is a problem that was solved because of self-awareness. If you're interested in having a conversation on why you are not getting the work done and you need an extra help, you can as well send me a message. So let's continue. The first point, just like I said, is self-awareness. The second point is structure and self-understanding. Now, this is very, very beautiful. Just like I said earlier on, one of the problems why people do not get to do what they need to do or get to do the work is a structure problem. Let me use myself as a practical example. I can't work in a disorganized space. For example, if the room is very disorganized, I can't work there. If the room is heated, I can't work there. I understand my body. My body doesn't respond in this certain kind of environment. So I condition my environment to a certain degree that I know that I can function maximally. And I know myself that when I wake up very early in the morning, I'm always very active. So I can give myself 5 hours of work very early in the morning. And once I hit that threshold of 5 hours, I know that I have to stop and leave it till probably late in the night before I pick it up again to get work done. So that's the way I understand my own self, and I created a structure around it. So for a lot of people, the solution is structure and understanding yourself. For some people, they have to go to a co-working space to be able to be productive. For some people, they have to join an accountability community for them to be able to see their projects to the end. So the question is, what system do you have to put in place? Have you understand yourself, the way you work, to be able to understand that, okay, this is how I work and this is the solution to my particular problem. Number three is get a community. Like, just get a community, be among close pals that are as well trying to achieve the kind of goal that you intend to achieve. Your goal is to just get close to people who are like-minded and who are also trying to achieve what you aim to achieve. I believe that with this point, you should be able to discover why you're not doing what needs to be done, and you should also have a solution on how to correct it. If you found this video helpful, do well to share with a friend, and as well do well to leave a comment and like this video. You can also turn on post notification. I thought I forgot. Turn on post notification, and yeah, I would love to see you in the next video. If you have any question, do well to drop it. See you in the next video. Peace out.